Good things are supposed to happen to me. I am not going to worry about the things I cannot control. I have no obstacles, no excuses. You versus the world. You versus the world and how you see the world is based upon your perception of that world. How you feel about yourself is based on perception. So one of my favorite sayings is, your best you is a matter of perspective. So let me repeat that. Your best you is a matter of perspective. Whose perspective? Okay, so what that means is it can be based upon two things. How you perceive your best you and perceive what that best you is, and how the external world perceives you. Your success is also a matter of perception. Your perception and the outside world's perception. Even right and wrong is based on perception. So I'm going to use these shoes as an example. What color is this? So I bought these shoes the other day. I thought these were this color. They weren't. Okay. When I took them to the store, the girls and I had several conversations about them, about what the color was. Tell me what color you think it is. Now, here's something intriguing. Ready? Okay, so first off, I love these shoes. And this is me. This is my perception. So I love these shoes. I think they're really cool. I love the color. I love that these two are different. You see, do you see this? This little thing here and back here. Okay. The inside is this cool little fuzzy leopard print. It's got some grip right here. I love these. So I paid $20 for these with shipping. Okay. My perspective is, I got a really good deal. I mean, it's got some imperfections, but I paid $20. Right now, if I walk into Walmart, which is about the only place that I can buy shoes here locally without running into a different town, I am not getting anything remotely close to this. Okay? Definitely probably not something in a color. It's going to either be black, white, brown, green. So my perception is, took me 3 weeks to get this. I love these shoes. These shoes are a little small. I'm going to wear them. Going to wear them a lot. Okay? My perceptions, I got a really good deal. They're super cool. I am absolutely 100% sure that somebody watching this video thinks I got taken or thinks these are the ugliest things they have ever seen. I mean, they're leopard print on the inside, for God's sakes. Perception. So your perception of things in the world can be dependent upon your past experiences, your education to the surrounding environment. You dictate what you see when it comes to a situation, even good versus evil. We see that all day long with our military personnel. You have vets that struggle with what they did overseas or what they witnessed. Whereas another person may perceive that situation as completely honorable. Like, can't even fathom why they would be upset by it in any way. And so on. So, perception is important, especially when it comes to your self-value. It is easy to get discouraged. I've recently watched a bunch of, I call it the white privilege video, where the gentleman is giving a list of things that are supposed to dictate or show you that one person has privileges over the other. Okay? So then I've recently seen another video where there are an insane amount of children that have cut pieces of this video out, and they're standing there, and they're all standing there listening to this video, and not, of course, not stepping forward. Where it's like, take 2 steps forward if you grew up with both parents. Take 2 steps forward if you had a private education. Take 2 steps forward if you got your college paid for. If you had a private tutor. So the objective is that you have people standing back here and you have people standing up here. And the people that are up here are supposed to be more privileged than the people back here. I watch that video and I see multiple things. Most people's perception of that video is it's a good meter of what privilege looks like. Right? How to define it and those kind of things. I see it differently. My perception is the making of that video is derogatory. It's creating more of a divide within our country. It's saying because I grew up with 2 parents, it assumes that those parents love me. That I got to see those parents. The kid that went to the private school may have been shipped off. He may not have even grown up seeing his parents. None of them. So yes, he had 2 parents, except 9 months out of every year, he was out of school. He was actually seeing his parents less time than you got to see one of yours. It doesn't talk about that the people that step forward to all of them may have been raped, molested, beaten. It's perspective. So you assume that those steps, each one of those steps, dictate your positive and mental well-being in life and how far you're going to go. I can pretty much say I probably only have 1 step in that video. Guess what? I move forward. I'm a great productive citizen. I don't do anything illegal. I work hard. But I wasn't privileged. I would be standing in the back with all the other kids. I can truly say, though, I had a good life. But my perspective of my life when growing up with the person next to me, so I grew up with sisters. My sister was only 1 to 2 years apart from me. Her perspective, when you ask her about her childhood and when you ask me about my childhood, you get 2 totally different answers. Because of perspective. So I think you can change perspective. And I think that you need to change perspective. I could go back. Very few people know this about me, but I've only met my dad 3 times in my entire life. I'm not sad about it. I don't talk about it. It's not important to me. It's not impacting me every day. But it's not impacting me every day because I don't let it. I made a decision a long time ago. It's his loss. I'm going to be an amazing person whether he's here or not. He's not going to dictate that for me. He's not going to have the privilege of having that power over me. I am going to choose my destiny not based upon his personal issues. I don't let it affect me. It's a non-issue for me. But that was a choice. I didn't pity myself for the things that I didn't have. I focused on all the things I had. I made friends. I don't have, now in my life, I don't have a big family. So on the holidays, we do not have big Christmas dinners and any of that stuff. I did grow up for a long period of time in a family that made me feel very welcomed when it come to those kind of things. I did have a stepdad that we lived with for many years. Feel very fortunate that I had that. And still to this day, if you ask me, he's probably my dad. And I say probably, let me rephrase that, he is my dad. He's not my dad by blood, but he did raise me for 14 years, and I was a part of that family. And I'm used to, or what I grew up with, was those big, huge family functions. I love them. I love that. I don't have them anymore. So what I've done in turn is, because that's something I love, that I cherish, I make my own. I now have friends. We go to their house. I take part in their stuff. I make food with them. They're my family. They're part of that intricate set of my family. And I become fortunate with that. And so instead of dwelling on what I don't have, I created something I do have. And I focus on what I do have, not what I don't. And that's perspective. So, little experiments. So let's go back to my shoes. Okay? I want you to tell me the first thing you see. Write it down. What do you see first? Okay? Now write down second. Okay, so now notice that, look back and see what you wrote down when I was doing this, and I was pointing out all of the flaws. What'd you write down? Were the things that you wrote down about this shoe positive or negative? Because I bet earlier when you saw them, you're like, oh, I love them. I mean, who wouldn't love these? Okay, so I'm pretty sure probably what you wrote down was, when I was doing this, was negative. Because I was pointing out all the flaws. Whereas earlier, when I was talking about how much I love these shoes, that I'm going to wear them, whether they hurt my feet or not. I've already tried, okay? See what you did. Did you focus on the things that were wrong about the shoe, on the phone, or the things that were right? I love imperfection. I love that this is blue and not the same color as this. This doesn't bother me. Because if somebody ever was to mention that to me, I'm going to know that they need my help. Okay? The imperfections in our life is what makes us who we are. It makes us what we are. It's the beautiful piece. It's the things that I love. I love those things. You will hear me talk about my husband's crazy. I love it. But it's a matter of perspective. So when I say that be the best you that you can be is a matter of perspective, you are going to dictate what part you see, what part you want to be. When I was a teenager, I always thought I was super fat. Like, I believed I was a fat kid. Yes, I'm saying the fat word. Not obese, fat. I thought I was ugly. But I also believed that I had this amazing personality. That I was driven by personality, not by my looks. I love how I look 90% of the time. As I grew up, I since realized after looking back at photos of myself when I was younger, I was skinny. I lost 80 pounds, and still when I looked in the mirror, I perceived myself as fat. I was getting to the point where people were asking me if I was doing drugs. No, I wasn't. I was 2 hours on a treadmill. I never ate. I never slept. I literally was so focused on me that I did not, I just kept losing. But what I saw when I looked in the mirror was not the same thing that everybody else was seeing. It was completely different. I did not see that girl that was so skinny that people were concerned that she was doing drugs. The doctor asked me to stop losing weight. I had a hard time with that because my perception of me at that time was that I was a lot bigger than what I am. Because our world is driven by our brains. And our brains play tricks on us, for lack of a better word. When I write, the reason why I leave words out is because I thought I already wrote it down. I thought it was already there. When I write, I can read. Matter of fact, I'm one of those people that can read the words completely backwards, upside down, and all jumbled. And I might not even know that it's wrote that way. Our world is perspective. So you have to be comfortable with you. And sometimes you'll do things like this. This is driving me crazy today. I am not doing this out of beauty. I am doing this out of these pieces of hair are driving me crazy. You think I'm doing it to look pretty. I'm not. They're driving my forehead absolutely insane because they have flyaways. They're just boop, 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 all over the place. I'm not doing this to look pretty. I'm doing this because it's driving me insane. So just remember when you're feeling down about something like having 4 subscribers on your YouTube channel, or you think you're fat, or you think you're not successful, or you don't believe you have enough time in the day. Change your perspective. Look at it differently. So here's what I'm going to challenge you to do. I want you to find one object in your house that you think is ugly. Oh, hold on a second. I got one for you. Person, right? So just remember that when I show you these. Matter of perspective. Okay. I love both of these. Do not judge. Remember, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. But I want you to do this. I'm going to show you 2 pairs of shoes. Okay? I want you to write down 2 things that you see. Okay, 2. Okay. Got a good look? So, these two things, after you write them down, okay, so shoe 1, I'm going to show you one more shoe. Shoe 2. I've had these for a really long time. I have a huge collection of shoes, and I did throw some out this year. I like vintage sometimes, and a little quirky. These actually are a little bit more cheetah, a little bit more yellow. Cause see, look, a little bit more yellow orange. So what I want you to do, again, write down two things that you see, positive or negative. Then I want you to look back over them, and if the things you wrote down are negative, I want you to practice writing two things. I want you to find two things about this shoe that are positive. They're old. Okay, two things. Two things about this shoe. Okay? And then this week, I want you to work on anytime something is negative to you. I want you to find two things that are positive about it, no matter what it is. So let's say you are at McDonald's and the girl is super rude. I want you to find two positive things. Two. See the good. Because your interaction, your world, is a matter of perception. You choose what you see first. And the more you do, the more you start seeing the positive things, like the fact that this is yellow, the more your brain will continue to do that. So it's called a brain game. It's a train. So this is that little coach piece. Shh. I'm coaching you. I'm helping you train your brain to start looking at the positives. Okay? So do this for 1 week. Every time something negative or a bad situation comes, or just a person you just plain don't like, I want you to find two positive things. You are, and they don't have to be the best things. It could be like, oh, that freckle looks nice. It is a way for you to train your brain to change your perspective, to look at the world in a different way. Once you do this, you will start seeing the positive things in the world. And the more positive the world becomes, the more smiles you have on your face. The less stress you have, the happier you are, and the more healthy you will be. So, please do these exercises, like, subscribe, and 100% comment. I want to know how this works for you. I want to know. Tell me down below how your experiment went. Tell me about my shoes. Oh. You thought this was a perspective video, not just a shoe video. So, this is Fumbling Sugar. I'm out. You guys have a great day. God bless you. And smile as often as you can.